didn't want to write this. I didn't even want to think about it. But after last night, I need to get this out. I need to know if anyone else has experienced something like this. Because this thing, whatever it is, it's getting worse. If you haven't read my first post, here's the short version. Strange things have been happening in my house. Doors open on their own. Objects move. But the worst part? I keep seeing this thing. It looks like a baby, but it moves too fast, and I don't think it's human. I saw it crawl down my hallway last week, and I swear I saw its tiny, pale hand reach out from my guest room closet before slamming the door shut. I barely slept after that. I didn't even want to be in the house. But my wife was out of town for work, and I was trying to convince myself it was just my mind playing tricks on me. But last night changed everything. I went to bed early, around 11 o'clock, locked the bedroom door, left the hallway light on. Not that it mattered. At some point, I must have drifted off because I woke up to a noise. A soft knocking sound. Not at the front door, not on the walls. It was coming from inside the house. It was right outside my bedroom door. I sat up, groggy, my heart pounding. My first thought, my wife had come home early from her trip. I didn't even question it. I just felt relief. I got out of bed and moved toward the door. Then I heard her voice. "Babe?" Muffled, sleepy, like she'd just woken up. "Babe, are you awake? Come here for a sec." I hesitated. Something in my brain flickered. Confusion. Hadn't she said she wasn't coming home until Friday? Maybe she got an earlier flight. Maybe she just didn't want to wake me? Still, something about the way she said it felt off. I put my hand on the doorknob. "Can you come help me? Something's wrong with the sink." That's when I froze. I don't know why, but every instinct in my body started screaming at me. The words sounded wrong, too stiff, too rehearsed. Like someone who had memorized the way she spoke, but didn't understand how the English language worked. I pulled my hand away from the doorknob and my skin was ice cold. Then, from outside the door, I heard something. A giggle. Not my wife's laugh. Not even close. It was high-pitched, like a baby trying to mimic laughter, but not understanding how to do it. My stomach dropped. This wasn't my wife. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, aiming it at the bottom of the door. My breath caught in my throat. A shadow. Small, motionless, right outside my door. And here's the part I can't explain. I moved the flashlight, tilting it upward, expecting the shadow to shrink or shift position like normal. That's how light works. But instead, it grew. The shadow stretched into my room, passing under the door like it wasn't even there. I stepped back, heart pounding. The shadow shouldn't have been able to do that. I have a master's in physics. I know how light works. I know how shadows are cast. The door was closed. There was no gap big enough for a shadow to be cast inside. It should have stayed outside in the hallway. And yet, there it was, spilling into my room, moving. Then, a soft, dragging scrape against the door, like tiny fingernails tracing patterns across the surface. I felt sick. I lifted my phone, hand shaking, and took a picture under the door. The flash went off, making me wince. I looked at the photo. I nearly dropped my phone. A tiny, pale hand was resting on the floor, the fingers too long. I backed away from the door with my chest heaving. My mind was screaming at me to run, to get out, to do anything but stay in that room. But then the voice changed. It got higher, thinner, stretched in a way that didn't sound natural.
Babe.
It was mocking me. And then, as if it were tired of playing, the doorknob started turning. I lost it. I grabbed my keys, flung open the window, and climbed onto the roof. I didn't care about breaking my legs. I just needed to get out. I slid down onto the lawn, sprinted to my car, and peeled out of the driveway so fast I nearly took out the mailbox. I drove straight to the hotel where my wife was staying. I didn't even call first. I just showed up at her door, shaking. She was half asleep when she opened it, confused, asking what the hell was wrong. I tried to explain. I really did, but she just looked at me like I was insane. She thinks I had a nightmare. Maybe sleep paralysis. Maybe stress. But I know what I heard. And I know what I saw. This morning, before I wrote this, I checked my security cameras. I have one in the hallway pointed toward my bedroom door. At exactly 3:14 a.m., the footage cuts to static for 3 seconds. When it comes back, the guest room door is open, and standing just outside of it, a tiny, pale figure facing the camera. It's blurry, but I can see its head, its arms, and something else. Its mouth is open, and it looks like it's smiling.